Thank you very much for coming along today, and thank you very much for allowing me to speak to you today. It's a pleasure to be in Israel. I live in Washington, and we have a polar vortex that is descending on Washington, and my wife is looking forward to digging out our driveway, so she's welcome to it. I'm going to talk to you today about this vision that we have of GIS as a nervous system. It's not necessarily a totally new idea, but this is an idea whose time has come. We can now, I believe, achieve this vision. So the notion is built on a metaphor, and the metaphor is that of the human nervous systems. Now, we're all humans, and our nervous system is essential to our life. We cannot survive without our nervous system. And you might say that actually our nervous system is the most important organ that we have as humans and our species. And our nervous system is more than just a system that responds to a stimulus. It's more than that. It's intelligent. Our nervous system integrates data from many sources. It couples that data with our own logic and our reasoning, and sometimes it balances that with ethics, with morals, and sometimes with emotions. Then our human nervous system carries out actions. It allows us to conduct a response to those stimuli that we have received. And as humans, we have experience. We have a memory. We learn, we grow, we evolve. And that is the metaphor for this system. Because our world resembles a living organism. It is a massive living organism. It's complex. It's all interconnected as a planet, as an ecosystem. It's generally self-healing, and we hope that it is self-healing. It's resilient, it bounces back, and it is always changing. The world has always changed, always evolved. And as humans, we're fundamentally part of that world ecosystem. Now, the digital technologies, our digital world, is literally transforming our world in front of us. These systems are enabling us as humans, as a species, to be enormously successful. We're co-evolving with the technology. It's enabling us to make huge advancements in science, in communication, and in being connected. And at the same time, this technology is accelerating everything that we do. It's changing how we think, and it's reshaping our very existence. But at the same time that the world is evolving, it's rapidly and changing, this human footprint is creating many, many problems for our world. We're losing biodiversity at an enormous rate. We have water and food shortages. We're facing a lot of challenges from development, and if that development is unconstrained, if we project that forward, it may be unsustainable. So the big challenge to us is, how do we develop a sustainable world? So we argue our world needs something like our human nervous system. The world needs a nervous system for its evolution. And it is a kind of nervous system because it's intelligent, and it's responsive. It creates understanding. It creates collaboration that allows us to resolve these issues that are threatening our existence, threatening our world, threatening our complex ecosystem. Geography is essential to make this ecosystem happen. So geography is a science. It's the science of our world. It provides all the rich content. We like to talk about geologic content, sociological content, all of the ologies, if you want. GIS and geography allow you to bring them all together, and the integrating framework for that is space and time. It allows us to see the connections. It allows us to make the connections between relationships, identify patterns, and make associations. It brings all of this information together to help us understand and intelligently respond, just like our human nervous system responds to the stimuli, our knowledge, our experience, to take action. So we talk about the science of where. The science of where is basically digital geography and GIS technology. And this provides a framework and a process similar to how our human brains can work. So as humans, we sense, we understand, and we respond, and it's instinctive. Well, this system can do the same for us. We see through visualization and mapping. We can visualize our world, we can understand that world. From that, we can then do analysis, we can model, we can look at consequences and predictions from that. That allows us to make better plans and better design. And then from those plans and designs, we can carry out action. But our action is data-driven and it's science-based. It is not just emotion. So this is actually the foundation of your work. You are the ones that are doing this. It's also the foundation for a geographic or geospatial nervous system. Many of you are already creating geospatial information today, and you're creating a kind of digital nervous system already. You're doing that for your own organization. You're doing that in your city, in your school. You're doing that in the IDF. And this is a system that is responsive. Okay? And if you go back to the definition of a nervous system, it integrates all sources of information. It connects everything and everyone together, just like we do in our brains. This system applies the science of where. So your work is contributing, directly or indirectly, whether you know it or not, to a kind of global geospatial infrastructure. This is sharing data. It's sharing applications. It's sharing your experience, your knowledge, your insight on our world. It's using this infrastructure, this cloud infrastructure, this information technology, to connect people to allow them to solve our world's problems. And it is about providing understanding and collaboration of action. Sometimes we would say unity of action. Now, this system can support individuals. It can work for us as individual humans. But it also supports organizations at all sizes. And it's a changing and evolving very rapidly, connecting people together. That's very much as the internet or the web did in the 90s. That explosion of connecting people together is now happening in this geographic context, allowing us to create this geospatial nervous system. But what's happening now is GIS at scale. This can be for individuals, but this can now be for national and multinational organizations to solve truly global problems. This is powerful for those of you who are GIS professionals. It doesn't mean that you go away. It means in many ways your role becomes even more important and you become even more empowered as to how you can connect distributed services together, contribute to that, use other models accordingly. So this is now a massive system of systems, if you want. The other thing that's changing is real time. I said our world is changing very rapidly. Our threats to our world are very short time. We don't have a lot of response, and I certainly don't need to lecture anybody in this country about the need for timeliness of action. So the integration of real-time data and the Internet of Things is a key capability that is driving this evolution. So this geospatial infrastructure is the foundation for delivering powerful capabilities across your organizations. And many of you are doing this through apps. These apps are the kind of building blocks that allow people to make the data available, to engage other people, and take action. And when you engage, it has to be bi-directional. It is not just pushing information out. We talk about every citizen, every soldier being a sensor. But geospatial-enabled systems are more than just the apps. They can be independent solutions that accomplish a complete workflow. Now that workflow could be indoor mapping, it could be urban planning, okay, it could be business analytics. The infrastructure is about bringing it all together. It's about connecting people, connecting their data, connecting their experience and their knowledge. And this connection is, again, across the community. It is not just citizens, it is not just academia, it is not just government, it is not just non-profits or non-government organizations, it is our world. It's also about bringing in new frontiers of science. One of the themes of this conference is innovation, and it is that innovation that we need to pursue, whether that innovation is bringing in open science, open software, such as things like Python notebooks. Increasingly, we're going to have to rely on artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is critical because it is about augmenting our humans, it is about automating processes that need to run faster, and it is about relying or using and exploiting artificial intelligence so that our humans can focus on the important decisions that they need to make. It's also about extending GIS to the edge. So when we say the edge, we mean right out to the edges of our community. And we can do this through edge computing, we can do this through edge devices now. If you follow Microsoft, you'll see that they and Amazon now have edge computing devices which can contain complete cloud infrastructure. This means that you can have a complete GIS in the jungle. Okay, you can have it in a vehicle. You can have it when a hurricane occurs or a typhoon. These complete GIS systems can now be at the edge. Edge users don't have to be as disadvantaged, perhaps, by the network. So a little example might be enabling smart cars so that the sensors on the cars detect when there's an accident. They can automatically send a message back to a master system that can then change the traffic signs to divert traffic or warn people. Yes, we can do that manually today, but these systems will become automated. So this infrastructure is also transforming organizations. It's interconnecting data of all types, and it's all happening at the same time. It's using this location as a common key in our data. And frankly, this is like no other information technology has achieved before. It's not just a dream. This isn't just a vision. Okay? If it's just a vision and it's a dream, it's a hallucination. This is real. So if you look at India, the survey of India is bringing their country together by providing a unified and integrated platform that transcends their citizens, their business, their government. Similarly, in the United Kingdom, the Ordnance survey has transformed their business. They are no longer just a government agency. They now provide improved systems and services that are tailorable, and they support, yes, the government, but they also support the economy, because that's good for business, that's good for government, and they also support their citizens. In the city of Raleigh in North Carolina, under the mayor's leadership, GIS is being used to conduct all the government and systems. And from a commercial point of view, going back to the economy in Southern California, SoCal, the gas company, has not only been able to be more responsive internally, they've been able to respond to external challenges like fires, floods, and other hazards, which unfortunately we experience in Southern California all too often. Now, as amazing as these systems are, it's only the beginning. You're going to see many, many other systems developing. For example, systems such as integrating citizen science, providing non-emergency contact through 311. One we particularly like is this real-time analytics from Walgreens. Walgreens is a pharmacy, but by tracking the purchases of influenza vaccine and medicines, they can actually detect the spread of influenza faster than the government. On the bottom left, you have the city of San Francisco, which is able to communicate plans for the city to its citizens. The port of Rotterdam is completely wired up from all of its sensors and is a complete digital city to make better decisions. And on the bottom right, it's only appropriate to call out the United Nations as to how they are supporting the sustainable development goals that are about sustaining the development of our world. So this geospatial revolution's only just beginning, and this geospatial nervous system is just beginning to evolve. Like our human system, it will be intelligently responsive. And I think only in our minds can we begin to understand and vision what this might mean. But it's not just technology, okay? It's going to take leadership. It's going to take governance. It's going to take you to bring this to life. It's going to take engaging communities. But above all, it's going to take a passion for creating this vision, a passion for making this real, and to better leverage that science to see what others can't. And I'm sure that that passion exists in Israel. So thank you very much for allowing me to talk to you. I'll now hand it back to Nurit. Thank you.